This is their redemption arc right now. They do hit that pad, not blocked. Looking for a dread up. Flow should be right behind him. Everyone already just immediately building up. The server's so clogged, 50 players rolling in. That's maximum capacity. And Jenna now down. I mean, he'll always take damage. I feel like that's his trademark every time right before the landing. And Flow will find him too. Fast Rookie Kali, one of the last to fly. Chulex up there too. They actually re-hit the pad. That will be huge. They're basically skipping an entire zone. Look at that timer, 20 seconds. And they're still in the sky. They haven't used a single material for this entire zone race.
That's lucky because they barely have any to work with. Only Wood now down left onto Fast Roki. This means that the first move in zone is going to have to be a one worthy again to some engagements. Look for those refreshes. Fast Roki on the left trying to go for it. As we see on the right side, Kane goes down there too. Now also 47 below the Storm Surge. But there's so many players at the back of the zone, but the beam comes through. No, and he's going to go down. There's just going to be Kylie left with 27 builds to himself.
No chance for a bounce back either. This is a maximum pull. I'm not sure if that Pepper did come through. I do see the steam coming out of Kylie's ear, so here we go. Uses 3 chunk splashes, but staying in the same spot. I'm not sure exactly if you gain any HP at all, Kylie. It is what it is. I'll have the 50 pot back, but now Storm Surge is also striking. 30 players, so it turns off. Kylie sliding, dipping, dodging, ducking, getting through every possible build, but he has to be efficient because 272 mats. I mean, he's at the end of the line here, Reese. He needs to find something as Chulex and Chico, who's back in the game, are alive and at high ground.
We also saw Flois there going for the high ground. He was one of the players in that piece at the start of the show that said high ground's easy, but it doesn't seem so easy for him quite yet as we move back over to Kylie, who's getting the whole focus of the lobby right now. Sprayed onto his wood wall, down left 3 builds, and he's going to have to try and get out there. The shot's connected to him from above, but he has no shotgun to work with.
This is going to be tough, even at the front side of the zone towards the bottom. Go-Go's and Gilius back and forth over and over again. No one has control of what actually low ground looks like. Chulex, though, and Chico finally finding a little bit of space. 3 different layers between them and Bevies down below. It's going to be really good for them to hold on to, but I know there's going to be some surprises. Gilius going down on the left. Relvis also trying to go for a few clutches. Chico is putting down the pressure down below, but here comes that retake potential. Roofing trying to go for it, trying to gain some control of the game, but no, Chico and Chulex too strong. Look at the investment, though. Only 4 materials on Chico. They have all in. They need a refresh, and they're just on 1 wood tarp.
There's no ammo to spray from at all up above. They have nothing to work with. Some teams almost definitely going to try and take the high ground as we go back to the low. Clement down with no builds. 1 elimination just named 44 HP down the shields, but can he hit anything? Can he work with? Can he get an angle? He's playing so slow. He's playing so sneaky, slippery, but no, it's over for Clement.
He gets taken out. That's Kaizen coming in from the left side, and he's also trying to make his job work, but it's not going to be possible. He goes down too. Chulex and Chico have just stayed hidden. I get it. 0 eliminations. I mean, this is perfect for them still. The elims won't matter if they make this game the utmost, absolute, complete, efficient one by getting the victory royale. Chulex and Chico, all they have to do is land a few shots. Chulex has 7 materials with 4 total teams still alive. They need to find something. They have to get into this conversation fast because there'll be so much siphon down below. I still see some hard materials. Nazen is only at 4 materials too. They get one of the trades on the left side, looking for the confirmation on the solo towards the right. Bevy's down. See if they land the shot. Chulex is now getting close and personal too. They must be out of materials, and so is Nyzen. They have to get Boofink here. They're looking for a few shots. He does rattle him down, but he chooses to stay with his teammate, work with that synergy. 2 guns for the price of 1. That's what I'm talking about. Boofink is now down. It's all up. The Chico and Chulex up above, but they've got no match. It's a final brawl. The showdown comes through. Chulex goes for the 1-for-1. Nyzen is towards the backside. Left side, right hand peek. It's not enough. The Salsa King Chico knows how to dance.
Absolutely nice. Still got the most material still with 103 in the inventory. He's managing to pop one of those chugs, splash the backside of the zone, but pulling yet again another max distance zone. We said if Nate was on fire today that these guys could qualify, and it seems like he's definitely playing to some of his best capabilities. The bottom right, Lois now picking up an elimination in the backside of the zone, and it's on Nyazin as well. The 2 POVs we watched clash head to head, go back and forth, and now Flores is doing the exact same thing, going from the back of the zone up to the front.
And this man had a teammate. That's a height take right there. Definitely. I saw the momentum there too. He had to calm himself down. Lecce is still alive in this feed as well. He's finding a few back and forth. 18 different teams still up. The maximum you can really have at this moment. They're all going to be moving in towards that 7th zone, turning into 8th. It's a slow pull a little bit. A nice bounce back to get everyone to think about what to do next. Flois is right below height, and that's leader. And Irazumi, who've been here uncontested, I feel like since they won over and over again, looking to see if they can have a chance to win a game. Have to hold on all the way towards the very end. Nate, mid to low ground. He's looking for his chances as well, but now he's really coming up against a lot of duos. There's a lot less space to work with as his zone shrinks and gets smaller. It's all up to him to see exactly what to do in a 2v1, but it's leader actually getting challenged all the way at high ground. The Mats are not going to be there to sustain this type of play. He has to fall.
He has to do what he does. Down on low ground, cheating and glove. She's managed to hold it up high, but no, the fall damage goes down almost down to 10 white HP. That was a single tick. The Charlie Chug Splash coming on out. The battle for high ground has now started. The 50-50 mechanics have begun. And it seems like they're in good control so far, but this pressure is not absolutely stopped one bit.
A little bit of repeat for Glove Sheet. Still, we know how much this costed leader and Irizumi down below. Glove Sheet will have to hit this swing, and he does, and that's exactly what I want out of a weapon zip. But now just 40 mats and another big chop down. This is trouble for Glove Sheet overall. They're all in here on these builds. Have to find a refresh and a shot. It might just be a few more ramps. On the side of Cheatin, Nate, though, goes down inside the feed all the way towards the storm. Floco's there too. Zekot is trying a little bit to survive, but he's getting bullied by an entire duo. Floco gets invaded inside the box. Clement is gonna have to just work as a solo now. That was an absolute big surprise. I didn't expect it. Was Cruel that came just crashing in, and Irizumi now also keeps the dream alive. Up top, they find a little bit of a siphon. They have a chance to stay up. They have a voice, and Cruel is taken down too. Armored Wall to keep things up. Another elimination for Irizumi, 6, and that's on the meld. They have what it takes, Reese, to take this all the way home.
Yeah, the backside of the zone, getting a little bit of materials, whatever they can work with. It was just the Siphon Wood now. It seems to be down the 2v2v1. The solo, nowhere to be found. It's hiding in the box, and it's Alex COD. His clutch teammate Z-Andy had his moment 2 seasons ago. Will he have his moment in this single match? But up on high ground, the materials have dwindled away to almost 0 on Irizumi. Ovalder with 0 as well. The spray, hopefully going to be enough. The ammo, they found him. They've hit the shots. The launch pad comes out. We'll see if this can work. It's a 2v1 situation. It's a game of Kovacs, but he's in the tree at this moment. The chop will come down. The fall damage somehow still not over. The chop comes out, and it's Clinbury.
This is a max pull for the majority of the lobby, so there's gonna be a lot of mats. That's M 3 times, and I'm hoping some of these teams can turn that M upside down, get a W up inside this zone. They have to be a little bit efficient right now. They might be just a little bit all in for the moment. So Deox, yes, even as a solo, he's making that efficiency to the utmost maximum, moving in, recycling the launch pad by himself though. Take a look at some of these dual solo actors. Nazy, Nate on the low, we see their perspective. They're going for a sedan play. At this point of the game, kind of bold, but let's see if they have that navigation on point, going straight through the builds and jumping through mid-ground like a fire hoop. That's crazy. I'm watching a movie right now from Snazy, but he doesn't have the traction to stay on course. Finally getting off, but they save so many mats and skipped a very dangerous part of the zone. He tarps in. Nate's gonna be right beside him. It's up for Nate to get active now. We mentioned it at the start of the show, Reese. It's all up for Nate's damage potential. His prowess as a fragger to really put this team on the map and make them feel alive.
You put him at the back of the zone. He has some of the best aim in the game. He will pick up frags. He will pick up refreshes. He will get your team moving. I'm just slightly concerned about the materials situation on both of them. Unfortunately, up on high ground, Lecce and Swilly have taken it too early. Yeah, again, look at the materials they already have. 44 builds to his name. Is he going to be able to get the refreshes from this point and keep themselves moving? Swilliam has enough, but we'll have to see.
It's a mini bounce back, so they can use the same mats a little bit, and they'll have less people trying to pressure them. Everyone right now is going to be focused on saving mats, maybe not going for a retake. That being said, though, for mid-ground, it becomes kind of crazy. People who are running out of mats might end up box to box. Some of the solos might start to invade certain cubes and boxes. We'll see if it's possible. Deox has to make that decision. He's very low on mats now, and he's going to be up inside Carmi's tarp going for a few shots. He's going to get denied and shut down from the backside. There's more solos even behind him. This Endgame has layers, and he's one of the first ones to go down.
Campaign go down in the feed at the same time. Cruel left as the solos. William and Lecce still up on the high ground at the same time. Z-Andy, the clutch god himself, still flying to the front side of the zone, picking up an elimination onto Till, who goes down too. So they're still in this up as a full duo at the same time. Lecce and Swilliam's materials starting to dwindle away. The materials in terms of their ammunition still looking actually pretty strong, so they have the potential to get some of these refreshes, and if anyone's going to hit some of the shots, it's going to be a guy like Lecce.
Lecce has a tail right now as well. He's just swinging from tree to tree. It's looking crazy. Cruel with a nice little bit of a clutch and a big pickup and a few mats that he can use to stay on the slow ground, but it's duels that he has to deal with now. Elevating up, this is smart, just getting away from all that pressure. Looking good by himself, Kane in his ear too. You have to realize 2 days, almost 10 games of pressure on his back. He wants to just find that relief. He wants that win, but with Lecce and Swilliam on high ground, I don't think any team can get as aggressive to try to shut them down now. Nate and Snazy, they're close. They're looking for it. It might be a 2v2 clash, but the whole entire server gets quiet. Nate finds Malumo, so there's a little bit of interruption on that layer. Cruel, though, on the backside, has to try. Swiftly realizes there's just something moving inside the storm. It's a bush play that Cruel will actually try to delay and get past. That's crazy, but now he's kind of all in. No mats on the top right side. He's trying to do whatever he can. Goes for the edit play. The first beam's there. He almost gets the second, but he is denied.
Yep, still high ground held by the same teams again. The material's still dwindling down. The players down below, like Alex called, been picking up the the refreshes left, right, and center, but they are picked up as well. Nate and Snazy still up in this as a duo. The low ground held by Nefreezy, losing Karma at the same time. Him also running down to low materials, trying to pop the heal, see what he can do at the same time. Getting pressured now from Snazy and Nate up above. It's a 2v1v1v2 at the situation at the same time on the low ground. He's dipped out of the box. He's away, but he's down as well.
Now we have Nate and Snazy. They're trying for it. Started up at mid, went up top, and now down. It's been a roller coaster of a game, and it's still going high speed. Look at the angles from Nate. They don't even exist. He's finding the shots. Letchi now low on HP, but there's a solo somewhere. They need to find him out because they can actually do so much damage to Snazy and Nate. It's Saka, and he's focusing on height. He's gonna go for a few shots. Does he land anything? That's a question. He has high ground against two duos. How's that possible? Clashing with low. This man is jumping and not going down. How? And he finds a few shots on to Nate. That'll be a little bit even on both sides. Snazy and Nate now, 2v2 situation. Matt's running low, but he finds a few from that siphon. 5 HP for Nate. Oh no, that's a big shot. It's gonna be very good for Letchi though. This might be the qualification for either team. It could go each way. He can't go into the storm. Letchi with the smart angles, the big peaks, and the pinch.
7 mats. Definitely not my definition of chilling, but everything else, 100%. The loot, looking fantastic. The rotations pulled back in their favor, so they may have some old builds, small amount. They're thinking about it. They're thinking about this car.
The issue is it's pulling back, I think, up a mountain. So I'm not sure exactly if they're gonna have room to get up. Yes, the zone says it's going that way, but Reese, you never know how the zone likes to go in the position that it's going towards, right? It could just pull up and then turn right a little bit. It could go in very different ways, and with 7 mats, I don't think there's a chance these guys can elevate themselves up. Not even, maybe they change something with the chonkers and they have spikes on them now. They can take the car up the cliff. Do they have the room to move?
I think they can go down that route. We also saw Ziandi, our first place, with Alex caught on the full dead side of the zone, managed to, I think, use that launch pad to keep themselves, so they're going to be in this game. Snazy's still left in this as a solo as the zone starts to go. He's got a single launch pad high up into the sky right now. We see Nyazin still in this too.
Snazy's qualification is kind of on the line here, I feel like, in this game. Yes, it's only game 4, but him going down here ruins the pace entirely of the whole tournament for him and Nate. He has no materials. Triple digits at least is what I'm looking for. Maybe 110, 120 after game number 4. He will all in with the whips, the swings. Those web shooters active, and he's going right inside of a box of a duo, trying to look for a little bit of a beam. Now all the way down to low ground. He's looking for anything. Snazy cannot find it. There is no map. There is no treasure on this side of the zone for him. He has to make it himself, but there's nothing, no shovel for him to dig through the dirt that he's trapped on.
Most of these players in this situation are trying to hide behind a corner, take some shots, peek up. Snazy does not care. He's swinging, he's angling, he's running. He's on his feet right now, moving and shaking every single direction that he can, and he's finally found that cubby hole to sit in, waiting for a player to come past. He can get any placement possible right now. This will be huge.
This is just an absolute paradox. Yes, he gets to survive the entire time, but he needs to find a player as well. He needs to be able to do both sides of this equation at the same time to find a solution, and it's not going to be able to happen. It seems almost impossible for him, but while he survives, we see Vortexia and Caspery thrive on the high ground, mixing right below him with Raxus, 2 teams that have been so struggling to find identity inside this endgame, find identity inside the semifinals. Are they on height, looking to control the rest of the lobby? It'll be a big task. Snazy finds a beam, but 20 damage, 2 less. Unfortunate for him, he goes down.
Great job by a solo, keeping himself up in the game as long as possible. Yet another solo to the name, Volko alongside Pena, 2 of the most aggressive players we have seen throughout the qualification system. Not managed to make it that deep into the majority of end games, but we know these guys can hit shots. We know that these guys can do well, but Volko left as a solo. Oh no, he goes down.
The zone becomes a labyrinth, a maze that's unsolvable when it bounces back, and it's going to be a maze with hard mats left and right, brick and metal. You have to break through that you can't see through. You're not only blind, you have no information as to what's going on around you. Indreda in a very similar spot. He has nothing, no info on what's going down above and below. Nova with a big swing to get in the front side of the zone, and he has Hardfire next to him. That was so clean from them. Vortex and Castery. Once again, the 4th game, we see height undisturbed. They might just have a free ticket to the finals right here.
They're going to have to get the refresh somewhere if they need to. They're going to have to drop down, pick it up at some point, and if while they do that, Vortexia with no match stays up on high ground, that's an easy retake from there on out.
On low ground, the ground absolutely disappears and falls. We're going past the cliff, and Floki and Clement, we're looking so good for the moment. More players will start to drop. It's a clash in the storm, and they're the ones to come out reigning supreme. Floki and Clement with a huge siphon, and they control the underground.
3 teams left remaining, now down to 5 at this moment. Till still popping up in the feed. It's Jox who's picked up here the materials. Now refreshed mildly for Castry and Vortexia. They have 5 eliminations. Those mid-game engagements that they were getting into have clearly figured thing out. It's a 3-2v2v2.
3 different rounds, but now worlds will start to clash as everyone gets closer inside this 9th zone. 2 minutes in this arena, in the middle of the desert. And who will be free? Julian starts to move inside the zone using the med miss. Castry and Vortexia have found a few mats and are still staying all the way up. It's a clash down below. Till is down. Fulky and Clement side by side, shoulder to shoulder. Strong as a boulder. It's getting crazy, but Vortexia and Castry, they drop on the house. The roof is on fire with shots. They find a little bit of a pick. Floki is down. Castry's done enough. And it looks like the 40-point Legends will have free height and look for the win. Just one more person to go. It's a pump on the Clement. Yes, there it is. Actually, a 1v1 situation for Castry. And he gets Julian.
Andrea and Lois down in that 13th, still in this as well.
Not a single shot in sight. One SMG rattling somewhere in the zone.
Players are scared. They know.
Everyone is realizing that this is basically it. Second last game. This is kind of the only place where there will still be formalities. Still a few people playing for consistency. There's the first strike. It has to be apparently Andretta and Flois that start to get bullied out of all players in the lobby. There's gonna be Lumbo trying to go for that forced push. 208 damage below. They have to look for something. Try to grab it, or it's gonna be a choke. A big launch pad. They'll start to be striked in the sky as they move. 38 seconds to that 7th zone. Everyone now is playing for that position. They're playing for that win. They just want to stay alive as long as possible.
Andrea and Refsguard double dipping on that launch pad, hitting it, bouncing straight back to the front side of the zone with the mineral materials. This should save them up a ton. In the healing feed we see another big one coming through from Clement, so he's popping off at the same time. The heals coming through onto Flois. Now Andrea has to put his team in a good position. They can tarp on the edge of the zone. They can go on that dead side. They can put themselves in a winning position for this game, in particular on the leaderboards, because they are 12th right now.
8 seconds till we see how difficult the zone will really be. Andrea and Flois staying side by side. Big takeover on height though. Zaka almost landing over and going for a fight. Decides not to. We're not going to be going to the bridge, but we will be falling through a bunch of cliffs. No bungee rope available for a bunch of these teams. The mats are running low. Andrea now diving into a box, 271 damage above. He can just play his entire game. 244 wooden materials. Has to catch up with exactly where Flois is. I'm not sure where he's at all. I don't even see him on the screen. He's basically playing as a solo right now. Kaizen only going down. He's dropped into someone else's box. I'm not sure exactly where his teammate is. They've found each other now, and the beams are starting to fly. Boofing randomly. Taken down. What a steal of mats. Just position, wealth, and they're still moving onwards, but the floor is falling. I mentioned the cliffs. They're just going everywhere. There's no chance for anyone to find any stability in this zone. Swifty as well as near the top is looking to see exactly what he can do.
Ooh, Alex Codden alongside Zandy now going up for the high ground up against ABR and Ping at the same time. If they win this game, this could be massive because they'll be dropped out of the leaderboard. The current high ground team, no, it's going to be Zandy who gets knocked by Ping up on the high ground. He's looking for the body. He's looking for the refresh. He needs the materials to get himself back up in this, but he's got 4 maps. The high ground is open. It's free. None of the teams are looking up. None of the teams are realizing the opportunity, but someone is at the front side of the zone. The Infinite Nanty, the Crank, the Spider-Man fling comes out. We've seen so many of these shots hit connected so far, and it's Zach and Zara who managed to take the high ground, but yet again with mineral materials.
They saw it once, they said not today, and now they make the jump and the climb. Another team starts to come up with more mats. Who is it going to be? Is it revenge of the spiders from down below, or will they fall down the Sprout? 22 more damage from Zara on the right side. He's trying to do anything to stay up top and have a flow in this conversation. Down below, Esti and Andretta are getting squished. There's Clement forcing fights down in the underground. This is huge. Esti's still taking a lot of damage. Andretta somehow survived. How is it even possible to build down here? It's so suffocating for a bunch of these players, but Andretta is finding a way. Deox now finally going down. Zara finds Ping, so they have some type of thing on height, but no, it's Jeff and Keandra who get it. Where did this team come from? 43 points. They might seal a ticket to the finals.
They might get their way through, but at this moment, they're going to have to do something more important than that, which is get some refreshes, get some HP, get some materials, get something going up in this game, because the single team looks up in the lobby. They're going to see the weakness. It's almost a high ground, but Jeff goes down, picked up, messing up completely. Not a single team understanding the holding, the understanding of up there, but it's Kylie. It's Kylie who goes up.
6 different teams alive, 7 players. Now it's just solos. Kylie looking to put his team on his back. Every single player now has lost his teammate. It's just them, their mats, their shots. A few ciphers on the ground. Kylie's all in with his mats. Force is now building up. It's a fight for height, and he actually denies him. Has the speed, has the peppers, and has the drop down, but misses the shot. Right side denied. A double ramp up top, blocked by a cone. Kylie still goes up. A dodge from Force, a shot from Force, but Kylie's too strong. The spider flip's not there in time, and it's God with the win. How that low ground will play out for a majority of these teams, and they've been used to being in that spot. Zara actually going down. They have a pad and should be so good on builds, depending on all the action we just saw them take a part of, but it's Leon that snaps their story in half. Flois finally goes down to Rafa, so Andretta will not be there alongside Flois in the finals of this FNCS either. Zaka, though, will have to try to solo clutch this. Kaden and Cruel have been here since day one on the right side of your screen. They're in 7th place and have high ground for what it looks like. They must either play really well or go for the win, but Kane slips, slides, and falls. They're having trouble editing through these builds. The pressure amounting to too much. Their blood freezing inside these close, flowy mountains, and Kane is down, put on ice. Cruel now left by himself. No launch pad, has the builds, but is stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Entire lobby with their focus, their eyes looking onto Cruel as a solo. One mere man trying to make his way through the entire lobby. He's 108 below the surge at the same time. It's ticking, his heel's going, the zone's catching up. He's just doing whatever he can to hit the damage, hit the shots onto some of the other players in the lobby at the same time. This is a potential qualification over, but hold on. He's moved up to 6th place on the leaderboard so far. So the 7th place team is currently down and underneath him, but there's still a lot of placement points left to go.
He's trying to keep things alive and survive. 24th place team all the way up on high ground. So if it's not going to be one of those top 6 teams winning, it might be tough for Cruel. He's dropping down, perfect drop and catch to make sure he doesn't take the fall damage, but he needs to upkeep with his shields. Player in his box, and that's Cruel's run done. But it's not over yet. Jeff going straight up for height. It's 2 teams that are desperate for a win. They're nowhere close to the consistency. Jeff with the edit course all the way on high ground, but does not find a shot or the Spider-Man grab. It's unfortunate. Left up top to Keandro by himself. Does he have the potential for a res? Is it even an option at this point? No, absolutely not. And now the win, it was just there in his grasp, right there in front of his eyes. It's gone, and he has to do things by himself.
I think he was going for the materials, hopefully getting the drop from Jeff, but it just didn't happen yet at all. But up on high ground, flawless. Keyrox, the team who's been in the fights, in the engagements all day, now making a name for themselves up on high ground. They have the materials to hold it, but do they have the skill? Do they have the awareness of the entire lobby? We have not seen that so far, but yet this is the game that they could win and qualify. They have no shot at doing it through consistency.
You can hear the shots rumbling on low ground. Subwoofers of bass just going back and forth over and over again. It is not pretty down there on the ice. Krusty and Relvis, they start to skate down below as well. 118 points. They're right outside the top 6. Swifty, I assume, will just have to qualify after that elimination onto Floki. But there it is. It's Clement actually going down. They should be good too with the points they have in this game. We might be seeing them in the finals, but for Relvis and Krusty, this is desperation. Maximum overdrive. Flawless as well up top on height, 85 points. They need this win. Nothing short of that will cut it with 7 teams still left, but they're having trouble knocking on the door of every team down below. Jams it on this box. Is going to get splintered to side splash as Relvis finally goes down. Krusty, 3 elims, 120 points. He needs about 19 more. Not going to have the chance to maybe even pick up his teammate. The zone is bouncing back. 9 zone revival? No chance, absolutely. 30 HP playing with that storm. No mats available. FNCS qualifier run on the line. He navigates with the shot, looking for the beam and finds it. The dream survives for a few more seconds, but he needs to stay active. 4 teams now down. Stepter finally gone. Krusty, he was the one getting the elimination. Jams it also denied a seat. 5th place. It's looking good. He's fine overall. This might just be enough for the qual. He does go down though in 5th place. How much higher do the points go? Clinberry, 11th overall. He might be looking for the win. Him and Leon have been so aggressive, but that maximum push on the gas might be too much. They're out of mats. Leon now too is trying to find a way to swing up. That was his last spider shot. They've got nothing but the guns and no mats on their back, going for the drop shot down. It's over. Huddy and Cyro up top, a 92-point run right now. 14th place. They need this win here.
It's a 2v2 situation, high ground versus low ground. The materials, yet again, almost down to nothing. But can the shots connect? The HP so low on Hutty. Hutty has qualified. He's in third place to win this, to qualify. Xerox and Flawless have to pick up the victory. They jump into the box, and they do it. They are going to qualify straight through to the FNCS finals with that victory royale.
This is, which one's this one? What? Alex Cod, Z Andy, I remembered Levin, I got it. And Flawless and Cyrox. Congratulations, but we gotta flip on over. We gotta see which duos do make it in that top 6 spot. Levin, it happened. It happened. We saw Caden Cruel